Hello and welcome, and thanks so much for downloading this brand new training which is going to show you some steps that you can start to use and implement straight away with my 5-pillar methodology and my no diet formula. Thank you. I think the hardest thing to do is when you're really successful as an interim manager to actually reach out and ask for a bit of help. So I know it's taken a bit of guts to actually come here and take a look at this. Probably you're working really long hours, 12 hours a day, if not more, back-to-back contracts, always another deadline to meet. And it's really hard to find the time to focus on yourself. I know, I get it. I was an interim manager for 20 years, so I understand the lifestyle. The reality is, losing weight and finding time for your health and fitness doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it can be quite simple, but that doesn't always make it easy. But what we're going to look today at is the 5 pillars that you need to consider when you're on your weight loss journey. Now, the first one, and the big one that everyone really knows, is you really need to look at your food and your nutrition. You might have tried diets before and they've worked for a certain amount of time. But any diet that you've ever tried, and believe me, I've tried a lot of them, the key thing is you're going to be in a calorie deficit. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you have to go and start counting calories, but the reality is that's science. That's what you have to do. You have to be in a calorie deficit. But what you can do is actually just look at your portion size. I've got a handy portion size guide on my website and you can download that absolutely free of charge. Another really easy tip that you can do is just take some pictures of your food. It's one of the things I get my clients to do in the very first week. Raise awareness, because I'm sure you'll see something and you'll say, actually, I can change that. I'm eating too many biscuits with my afternoon tea. I'm eating 5, I'm only going to eat 1. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is really look at what you're eating. The second thing, the second pillar, is about your exercise. And I say think of it as a Brucey bonus. Exercise is a Brucey bonus. But you don't have to go to the gym for an hour every day. If the only time you can find is 20 minutes 3 times a week, that's totally fine. Firstly, schedule it in your diary. Make a commitment to do it. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes 3 times a week. Even if you're only walking for 20 minutes and you break that down into 2 10 minutes, it's better than nothing. Now, the third thing is about your motivation and your mindset. A lot of people say, I've just lost my mojo. But what I'm telling you is take action. Your motivation will follow. So take action, do something. Something is better than nothing. Believe me, you're never going to be in an ideal place to start any sort of journey. Now, a really key thing I always say is lifestyle, and that's the 4th pillar. And what I look at in my program, particularly for you interim managers, is about your lifestyle. We all lose weight in the same way. I've told you it's a scientific fact. It's a calories in versus calories out, but it's our lifestyles that create the challenge. You have to make sure that you're getting good quality sleep, drinking enough water, moderate exercise, all those things that you really know and are very difficult to fit in to the interim lifestyle. But once you start to get those 4 pillars aligned, the last thing you wrap around it is creating some good habits, breaking things down into bite-sized chunks so that you keep doing them again and again and again, and then they become habitual. So what we've looked at are the 5 pillars. The first one is taking a look at what you're eating, and that's really the key one. 80% of your weight loss journey will come down to what you eat. The second one is making a commitment to do some form of exercise at least 3 times a week for 20 minutes. Put it in your diary, make a commitment, and think of it as your Brucey bonus. The third thing is about your mindset and your motivation. You're not going to wait for motivation to happen. If you take action, then the motivation will follow. The 4th thing is your lifestyle. We all lose weight in the same way, but having that busy, chaotic interim lifestyle can be really challenging. So to create those good habits, break it down into 2 to 3 small things each and every week that you can easily fit in to your schedule. Now, I know for some of you, you might be watching this and thinking, that sounds great, I can get on with some of these things. But some of you might be thinking, actually, now's the time, I need some support and accountability to get cracking with my weight loss journey. So if that's you, and you'd like to talk to me about whether we'd be a good fit for each other and Project You would work for you, then why don't you fill out the form below and we'll do 3 things. We'll look at exactly where you are now, exactly where you want to get to, and we'll look at how you might be able to get from A to B. And we'll just do a quick 10 to 15 minute call to see if you'll be a good fit for Project You. Maybe you've been watching this and thinking, hang on a minute, I'm inspired to take a bit of action, but I still would like to know a little bit more. Well, hey, why don't you go and grab a copy of my book, Project You, Reclaim Your Body with My No Diet Formula. It's a great read, well, even if I say so myself, but I have got some 5-star reviews, so go and check it out on Amazon. Thanks very much, take good care, and I'll speak to you very soon.